My name's Paul, welcome to Paul Perambulates. In this episode I'm in the north of England, in the Lake District, climbing Bowscale Fell and Blencathra. My start point is a lay-by just outside the village of Mungrisdale, postcode CA110XR, grid reference NY36453004. What 3 words? Narrowest language specified. I start by heading north along the road to the village of Bowscale. I then turn west and walk up the Caldew Valley as far as the beautiful Bowscale Tarn. I take a steep path up the crags to the top of Bowscale Fell. From there I head southward along the edge of Bannerdale Crags. From there I go west and then south, climbing up to Atkinson Pike and then to Halsfell top, the very highest point of Blencathra. I descend eastward on a ridge path via Scales Fell. Then I turn northeast and head along Souter Fell, back to Mungrisdale. Total distance 16.3 kilometres. Total height gain 923 metres. Total walking time 5 hours and 55 minutes. Parking for today is basically just a grass verge, just outside the village of Mungrisdale. It's a lovely little spot. There's a nice seat here, and that overlooks a little babbling beck. And it is designated parking. There's an honesty box. But you can't camp here overnight, and that's entirely reasonable. It's a beautiful autumn day here in the lakes. It's a weekday in term time. You can get about 10 cars in this lay-by, so if you wanted to come at peak times, you'd have to get here pretty early, I would say. About 100 metres further along the road is Mungrisdale Village Hall, and opposite that there is some more parking. This is £4 a day. No overnight parking, but no gates, and there's quite a lot of spaces. Mungrisdale is a typically quaint lakeland village. You see things like red telephone boxes. Nice views eastward here, out to the rolling Cumbrian countryside, which is a contrast to where I'm going. The first part of this walk is basically a long road walk, taking us all the way round to the back of Bowscale. Got some impressive crags to look up at. One side. On the other side, over the wall, that lovely rolling Cumbrian countryside. I'm now arriving at another quaint lakeland village, Bowscale, and there's some parking here. Room for about 6 cars. And the village itself, another very quaint slate built lakeland idyll. And it's here that we come off the road. It's start heading up into the hills. And once we're off the road, heading up the valley here, gently ascending along one side of it, we have these fabulous lakeland views. Wikipedia tells me that in Victorian times this was a very popular pony track. Well-to-do ladies would be brought up here to see my next destination. But apparently much less popular these days. Hard to see why, as it's so beautiful. I've seen a couple of other people. I'd be very surprised if this was a secret. Expecting a few of these today. Little becks crossing the path. No problem to get across though. Nearing the top of the valley now. So just taking our last opportunity to look down along it. And I'm now heading up towards the corrie, which holds my next objective. We're getting close now. This is the outflow. Lovely sound of rushing water. And here we are at Bowscale Tarn. This is where all those Victorian ladies came on their ponies. And what a beautiful sight it is. No wonder it was so popular then, and you wonder at its perceived lack of popularity now. I'm certainly not alone here. I can see at least 3 other people. 60 feet deep in the middle apparently, but very shallow here in by the shore. I suspect some of my wild swimming friends would be thrilled to find this little gem. There's a couple of brave souls taking the direct route up the crag on the other side. Fair play to them. That was a hell of a climb. Here's the end on view as I climb away from it. Catching the sunlight from here, fabulous. I'm into an extremely steep climb up now. Not quite as steep as going directly up the crag, the opposite side of the tarn, but super steep still. Now if you struggle with heights, you might call this exposure. It falls away very steeply. I'm alright with it, but not everybody has the same degree of comfort. View of the tarn is still amazing. Hands on rock here, definitely. That's my way up through. So we are scrambling now. Just topping out that little scramble now. Coming up over the ridge. And suddenly we can see stuff. Lots of stuff. Looking over at the Skiddaw Range. And then the tops of Blencathra. Looking the other way, down the valley I've just walked up, you can still see the tarn, and looking out over Cumbria to the east. Fabulous views already. I'm not much of a scrambler, as anyone who's watched much of my channel will know. But that was okay. That was, I think, probably on the edge of what I'm completely comfortable with. But there are other ways around. Alfred Wainwright apparently described more ways up Blencathra than any other fell. So around here you always have options. Once we're up onto this ridge above Bowscale Tarn, we're into some nice easy walking now. Short grassy paths. Still climbing, but it's very gentle. I mentioned my wild swimming friends earlier. Sure enough, a couple of ladies I passed earlier on the trail have been in for a dip. And if you're into that, why wouldn't you? What a beautiful place for it. As I head on up towards Bowscale Fell, any view I can get of the Tarn from up here might be the last one, so I've got to take every chance. I'm heading now towards the top of Bowscale Fell and getting my first really clear view at the tops of Blencathra. This is what's at the top of Bowscale Fell, a shelter here. Bowscale Fell, 702 metres. In this shelter for a coffee now, I think. The tops of Blencathra ahead, Bannerdale Crags stretching out southward, the Helvellyn range beyond them. And then coming round the Yorkshire Dales and the Pennines. I can see the Solway Firth and the hills of Galloway on the other side of it. To the west, Skiddaw. Blencathra now looking a little bit clearer than when I shot it earlier. I can make out some people on the top. Maybe I'll get some even better shots later on. Heading away from Bowscale Fell now. Blencathra looming, but a little diversion first. Just go along there a little bit, and that is Bannerdale Crags. Weather's taken a little bit of a turn now, gone a bit cold and gloomy. That is why I'm completely layered up now. I'm also going downhill. But at least it's not raining, so fingers crossed it stays dry. Got to a little squelchy bit now. It's the first time since I've been up on the top here that the walking has been anything other than extremely simple. Nice wide paths with short grass. Even this isn't a problem, it's squelchy, but it's completely passable. Looking down into Bannerdale as I come past the end of it. Some beautiful wild Cumbrian countryside. Falls away dramatically. path goes right along the edge of the crag, drops away extremely steeply to the left, very exposed. This is a great walk along the edge of Bannerdale Crags. I didn't walk and film at the same time earlier because it would have been a little bit dangerous. I had to be very careful where I put my feet on the stretch I've just walked. It's a little bit safer now, not vastly, still plummeting away extremely steeply on my left. Quite exhilarating. I can see up ahead the cairn on the top of Bannerdale Crags, and that's my next objective. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. Going right past the top of a gully now that just falls away very rockily. Coming up on the top of the crags now, and here's the cairn, which is my objective. And of course, arrive on the top of anything and suddenly you can see everything the other side, which that way is the Helvellyn range and the other way is the rolling Cumbrian countryside, heading over to the Pennines and up to the Cheviots. Looking back along the way I've come, Bowscale Fell looks a long way back now, and I've come along the edge of the crags here, which was an excellent walk. Heading now from my main objectives of the day, the twin tops of Blencathra. You can see some people up on the very summit there. And I will be up there in a short while. Looking up along the ridge that takes me up to the top there. At no point is that going to be difficult, technicality wise, but it's going to be long. I'm going to be climbing all the way, so it's going to be hard work. Be well worth it though. I'm on my way up that big long steep climb now, layered right down, because I know it's going to be hot work. What we are looking at here is Sharp Edge, a knife edge arête leading up to Atkinson Pike, one of Lakeland's most feared scrambles. Fair play to the people we can see taking it on. Wainwright wrote in his Lakeland guides that the edge is sharp enough for shaving and can only be ascended à cheval, at some risk to the tender parts. For you non-French speakers, à cheval is on horseback, i.e. legs astride. So 2 reasons why you need balls of steel to climb it. Whatever appointment this gentleman is late for is literally a matter of life and death. This is the less scary side of the interestingly named Foul Crag. I expect I'll get a view on that from up on the top. And so I've just got to go up that bit to Atkinson Pike. the secondary top of Blencathra. Flattened out a little bit now, and then one more great big slog and I'll be up there. Last bit up to Atkinson Pike, extremely steep, so I'm having a sit down and taking in some views. Solway Firth, Hills of Galloway the other side. Coming round, Skiddaw, and then the Western Pikes. From here I can see the Skiddaw Hostel, the highest in England, 4k from the nearest road, only for the committed. Just getting now to the top of the last big slog up to Atkinson Pike, and here I am. That was quite tough, but well worth it. And this is what's there, the cairn. At the cairn now on Atkinson Pike, 845 metres, the secondary top of Blencathra. Pretty good views in the background, looking across to Skiddaw and across the northern fells. And then at the rest of the top of Blencathra. Once you've done the steep climb and got up on top of Atkinson Pike, it gets very friendly. Much shallower, friendlier paths. Looking over the Halsfell top, the very top where I'm going next, and that is not going to be difficult. And then I can see the path down, going down Bowscale Fell, and then I'll be going along Suter Fell. I could see clouds touching the top of Blencathra earlier from Bowscale Fell, but they're not here now, thankfully. And it's very clear, and I'm getting some incredible views. Heading now from Atkinson Pike to Halsfell top. And the two of them, between them, form the ends of what looks like a saddle if you look at it from the east. There's a little dip you can see ahead, down in front, and it looks as though there's a saddle over the mountain. And it has an alternative name, Saddleback. The Ordnance Survey map calls it Saddleback or Blencathra. The name Blencathra is thought to be a Cumbric name. Cumbric, one of the old Celtic languages that were pushed to the margins of Great Britain when the Romans invaded. Blaen meaning top, Cadair meaning chair, so top of the chair or seat or saddle if you like. Very similar to Welsh, Cadair, as in Cadair Idris, the seat of Idris. I'm walking along now across the saddle, and the views continue to be unbelievable. Looking west here. Both sides as well. Beautiful scenery everywhere. At the bottom of the col, there's a little tarn here. Must be one of the highest tarns around here, although there are quite a lot of high ones. Not named on the map, but you don't expect to find it this high up. Alfred Wainwright identified more routes up Blencathra than any other mountain. And I'm looking at another one now. This heads down towards Keswick via No Crags and Blease Fell. I don't think it goes right down that ridge. It'd be quite exciting if it did. Coming up now onto Halsfell top, the absolute top of Blencathra. Once again, get over the top, you can see everything. In this instance to the south, Helvellyn, Coniston Old Man, Bow Fell, Crinkle Crags, Fells, Great Gable, Kirk Fell, and then the Western Fells, and out to the Irish Sea. Bowscale top, 868 metres, highest point of Blencathra. Take a look at these views behind me. Looking east, the beautiful Cumbrian countryside, away to the Pennines. Away to the southwest, England's highest, the triple top with Bowscale Pike in the middle, Great End on the left and Bowscale on the right. More directly southward, the third highest, Helvellyn. And then to the west, the fourth highest, Blencathra's bigger neighbour, Skiddle. Coming round the back of Skiddle, beyond it Solway Firth, and the other side of that the hills of Galloway. Trig point with a difference here, it's just a concrete ring with Ordnance Survey trigonometry carved into it. Heading down now along that windy path over Scales Fell and then along Souter Fell, and hoping that the views all the way will be as good as this. This is the most fantastic example of how to make a walkable path up an extremely steep fell. It zigzags violently, but the end result is to make it much more shallow and easy to walk. I'm zigzagging my way down now. Normally, to go down something this steep, thus if I'd even go down it, I'd have the poles out. But I don't need to here. Here we go, swinging around now. Was zagging, now zigging. It's shallow enough for me to walk without the poles, which is really nice. Looking at Sharp Edge from the other side now. Scales Tarn at the bottom there. Heading up onto Atkinson Pike. Can't see anyone on it now. The gentleman who just went past informed me that Sharp Edge has killed more hill walkers than any other ridge in the Lake District, and I'm not at all surprised by that. Looking down off the ridge to the right, the other way from Sharp Edge, it's pretty dramatic. In fact, that's the word that could describe everything around here. It's no wonder that Wainwright was so fond of this mountain. It has an awful lot to offer. The great views keep coming on this path down to Scales Fell. Sharp Edge there to the left. Past the end of that, I can see Bowscale Fell where I was earlier, and the back of Bannerdale Crags, where I was just after that. Can just make out the cairn on top of that. I can now also see almost all of the rest of my route. I'll get down off Scales Fell, I'll be onto Mouthwaite Combe, and then that takes me up onto that long ridge stretching away there, Souter Fell. And Mungrisdale, where the car's parked, is at the other end of that. Even this late on in the walk, the brilliant views don't stop coming. I'm on this ridge path down towards Scales Fell, and every time you come over a little top like this, it just opens up. Looking south there, Helvellyn, you can see way over to the Scarfells. And then coming back the other way, you can see all the eastern fells, and then Cumbria, way over to the Pennines. Coming down off Scales Fell now, and the walking's not too bad at all, quite easy really. And down there, linking Scales Fell and Souter Fell, is Mouthwaite Combe, or it might be Mouthwaite Combe, I'm not entirely sure of the pronunciation. It's like a nice little connector, enabling me to go where I want to go. I can see there's a lovely path right across it, and then another lovely path right along Souter Fell. So I'm hopeful that the last part of this walk is going to be fairly simple. A little way up Souter Fell, I'm getting an end-on view of Sharp Edge. The kind of view someone would get who was on their way to climb it. Quite intimidating. Walking along the ridge of Souter Fell now. This is what I'm seeing to my left. And this to my right. There is absolutely no shortage of amazing views around here. Looking back along it, I'm really taken with this view. Beautifully framed are some Lakeland classics. The Scarfells, Great End, Bow Fell, Crinkle Crags, other way, Great Gable. This view could be the subject of a painting, it really could. I'm on top of Souter Fell, 522 metres, little rocky outcrop here to mark it. Blencathra in the background there. Looking off the other end, nowhere near as spectacular, but still beautiful. You can see right over to the Pennines there. And then round to the eastern fells. Coming down off the northeastern end of Souter Fell now. Identified on the Ordnance Survey map as a hang gliding site, and you can see why. Loads of height here, and then straight in front of you, completely flat. I can't quite see Mungrisdale from here, but I can see the farms either end of it. So I know it's in there, behind that little knoll down there. I've just stopped to get my poles out because this descent is so steep, and I'm looking back up Souter Fell and you can really see it. I certainly wouldn't fancy climbing it from this end for what's up there. Seems to be getting steeper down there as well, so these fellas definitely needed. I've got far enough down now that I can see Mungersdale, and gratifyingly I can see that my car is still there, which is obviously going to be useful if I want to go home. It's actually getting steeper and steeper as it goes down. That's a scramble now. Not an insurmountable one, but maybe not that welcome near the end of the day. I've got back down to civilization now, been able to put the poles away. Now, as great as the views were off the end, if I was doing it again, I wouldn't come right to the end and come down that way. There is a path from near the top of it that heads diagonally down the side of the hill, and I think I would do that one if I was going to do it again, because the way I came was frankly a bit of a pain in the posterior. But all done now and safely down. Either way, you get a rather pleasant little footbridge over the river to finish it off. And finally, after what's been a long but excellent day, I get to walk alongside this beautiful babbling beck back to the car. Blencathra, which is just behind me here, and Bowscale Fell. Wainwright wrote extensively about how much he loved Blencathra, and having been there, it's not hard to see why. Usually, on the way up a mountain, you're seeing the same view from a lot of different heights. You get over the top, you see the view the other side from also a lot of different heights. Not the case on the walk that I've done today. It had so much variety. From the beauty of the Bowscale Valley and then the Tarn at the top of it, getting up onto the top, walking around Bannerdale Crags, climbing up to Atkinson Pike, Halsfell top. Brilliant views all around from there, but it didn't stop there. That undulating ridge down to Scales Fell offered fantastic views of Sharp Edge, and then down on Souter Fell, even there, whichever way you looked, beautiful, beautiful lakeland views. Difficulty wise, I'm going to give that a 7. I nearly edged it up to 8 because of that scramble up from Bowscale Tarn, and the last climb up to Atkinson Pike was pretty steep, but it's all perfectly doable. There are many other ways up there, all described by Wainwright. Whichever way you choose to do it, I would thoroughly recommend that you come and give it a go. I have to count that as one of the best mountain days I've ever had. All maps and 3D fly-throughs provided by kind permission of Ordnance Survey through their excellent OS Online application. Big thanks also for all music used in this video to mixkit.co and upbeat.io. Specific song and artist credits can be found in the comments. These videos are designed to show you around the routes I walk in case you're considering doing them yourself. They are not designed to be any kind of hill walking training or guidance. If you need hill walking skills, obtain them in person from a reputable, qualified provider. Please don't attempt these walks without appropriate levels of fitness and equipment. If you don't have the required levels of knowledge and experience, only undertake them accompanied by somebody who does. You can find out more about me and my background and experience at my website paulperambulates.co.uk. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Paul Perambulates. If you did, please subscribe and share.